Okay, hopefully you guys are still doing your math at home. Okay, I like today's lesson. I like it a lot because if you, this is one of the times where you get to say, I already know something in math and I can use it. I'm going to show you how you already know it and then how you can use it. And that's kind of empowering because if that happens again with something, you'll be able to try and use some of the tools that we practiced today to do this. So today we're going to use percents in a ratio box. So this is kind of where we've been just using words. So ratio box is what I've been saying in classes. That's when we use words. And we're going to find out how we do it. So it says right here, 30% of the cars in the parade are antique cars. If 12 vehicles are antique cars, how many vehicles are in the parade in all? And that's kind of like an overwhelming question before we put it out, but let's put it out what we know and see how to do this. So first of all, I wanted to quickly remind you what percent means. Percent is per 100, okay? So that just helps us to remember kind of how much we're talking about when we talk about the total. So they gave us some information right here. They told us that we're going to talk about antique cars. And so, and let's talk about what we put in our ratio boxes. In our ratio boxes, we put what we know, the words. We knew antique cars, and we're going to put total. That's going to start to be one of our go-tos. So to get the total, we would also have to know how many are not antique. And maybe that was the part of the question, the lesson today that you didn't know how to maybe put that on there. So they did tell us that there was 12 total. We don't know how many are, or there were 12 that were total that were antique. We don't know how many are not antique. That's not given anywhere. And we don't know the total of the cars, but we do know something about this. We know the total of percent. Now the total of percent is always going to be 100, right? That's the total percent per 100. So antique, they did tell us it was 30%, so we could figure out how many were not antique by doing the subtraction. So now all of a sudden we have a lot of pieces of a puzzle and we can figure out. So we can figure out this piece, we can figure out this piece, and we're going to use cross multiplication for all of these. I'm going to put this up here so I can kind of write it out for you because I don't want you to get confused. So on this one we have 12 over, we don't know what this piece is. This is what we're going to be figuring out. So I'm just making ratios with this and this. Now I have to make them the same. So if I want to compare this to this, and since this is the piece they asked me to find right here, this was the one they said how many total cars were there if 30% of them were going to be, right? So this is what they kind of told me right here. This is what we're finding out. So I'm going to choose to set my ratio up equal to 30. So that was the percent. So again, antique over total and total. Okay. So when we have that, we can cross multiply. So we're going to say 12 times 100, and that is equal to 1200, is equal to 30 times x. And to solve for this, this means multiply. They're touching. The opposite of multiply is divide. So I will divide both sides by 30. And 12 divided by 3 is 4. And one of our zeros cross out, so we have 40. Right? 3 goes into 120 40 times. So that tells me how many were in total. So if I wanted to figure out how many were not antique, I would do the subtraction, and 40 minus 12 is 28. And I could do the same thing. 28 times 100 divided by 40 would be 70. Or 28 times 100 divided by 70 would be 40. I could cross multiply to check any of those, but that's how we fill it out. Okay, these math problems you're going to see forever. You're just going to see something like this over and over and over. We always want to know what the full price was when we give you a discount price. We want to know how much the discount was. We want to know what the total, what the percent is. So this little method of just writing it out really helps us. Whenever we get these, the idea is that we've been given some sort of discount, right? Some sort of like amount off of a total. We're always given the sales price, so what that price was, and so the total would be, without the discount, would be the discount plus the sales price. That would have been the total original or full price. So I'm going to leave total, but I'm going to put in parentheses full price. Because that's usually what the total is for these types of questions. Okay, so you're going to have your discount, you're going to have your sales price, and then you have your total or your full price. So let's read this question and find out what information we have and what maybe we need to find out. So it says, buying shoes on sale, Nathan paid $45.60, which was 60% of the full price. So we have kind of the sales price here. We have the $45.60. That's what he paid as the sales price. And they told us that that was 60% of the full price. Now the full price is always 100%. If we have to buy something full price, which don't do, by the way, find things that are discounted or on sale. But if you have to pay full price, you're paying 100%. So the discount for this one, the difference between 160, the discount was 40%. So it was 40% off. And now we can kind of fill out this table. This is what it was asking us for. It was asking us for the full price, but we could find out what the discount was as well. Let's use our little paper and probably our calculator again for this one. But let's find out how to set these ratios up. I think this would be a good ratio right here. We have 45.60 over the total, which we don't know what that is yet, right? Over the total price, which is what it wanted, the full price. And then we have this right here. So the sales price percentage was 60 and the full price percentage would be 100. So remember, we're just lining up, making sure that we have the same boxes lined up. So this and this are both top, this and this will both be bottom, okay? So now we're going to do cross multiplication, this times this. So 45.60 times 100 will be 45.60 without the decimal, move the decimal 2 places. And that will be equal to 60x, okay? So this times this divided by this, and if I put 45.60 divided by 60, I'm just going to use my calculator again really quick for sake of time. 45.60 divided by 60 is $76. So the total price was $76. So to find what the discount actually was, you would, I can just subtract 76 from 45.60, or sorry, I said that backwards, but 76 minus 45.60, and I get $30.40. Okay, the very last one says this, and for sake of time, I've just quickly filled out this part right here. So this was the wording for it, okay? It says, only 40% of the team members played in the game. If 24 members did not play, then how many did play? So we're gonna have played, not played, and total, right? It's usually antique, not antique, total. Discount, price, total. We're looking at what we have, what we're missing, and then a total. That's always what it is. This one, it says only 40% of the team members played in the game. So of our percentages, we're going to write 40. We know the total for percent is always 100. Okay, so then not played would be 60. Okay, so we have those percentages given. Now it says if 24 team members did not play, how many did play? So they gave me right here the not played. So the 60% is what they gave me. And then they're asking for this piece right here, how many played. So I need to set it up again with a ratio. I'm going to use the information that I have. I don't have how many played, but that's what I'm finding. I have how many not played. So if I set it up played to not played, and my percentages played to not played, and remember I did subtraction to find this, from subtracting from 100 to find that. So now I'm going to just use cross multiplication. I'm going to multiply 24 times 40, and that's going to be equal to x times 60. So let's quickly put that on our calculator so we get it correct. We have 40 times 24, and that's 960. And now when I multiply 60 times x, I get 60x. So it's 960 divided by 60. That will give me my missing piece. So 960 divided by 60 tells me that there were 16 that played. And if there happened to be a question that asked about how many total there were, we could find out that there was 40. Okay, so 40 times 40 is 1600, 16 times 100 is 1600. So again, we can quickly check to make sure that we did it correct. Okay, so today's assignment, after you watch this video, is to do the practice set. Okay, so you guys are going to do the practice set. It's on page 551. And that's your assignment for today, is just to do that entire practice set. I really want to see your work. You need to show the ratio box. You need to have how many played, not played total, sales price, discount price, total. I want to know antique, not antique total, okay? I need the words, and I need it to be in something like this. There's not a lot of questions, so I expect a lot of work. If you have any questions at all, please let me know. Good luck.